Hello. Welcome back. I got a great analogy for you today, and I figured it out while watching a movie. And that's awesome. I had an aha moment of brilliance while I was relaxing. It's how you know you're doing the right thing. You know, the right thing isn't always hustle, do, and go. Sometimes the right thing is watching a movie at 9 a.m. before you start your job. I feel so much better now that I did that. Anyway, but while I'm watching the movie, I'm like reminiscing and kind of pondering on yesterday's episode and how we were talking about narrowing down your avenue of attraction, like what you're attracting into your life. You're narrowing it, becoming more specific, and attracting what really works for you authentically and not for a version of you that you could possibly become to maintain it. No, your authentic self. So this is the idea. So I'm watching this movie and I realize that this one actor that's always in this movie, he always looks the same. Like he's casted as this, he's casted as himself basically, right? And then it got me thinking, because I'm like, he's always got glasses on, like fashionable frames too. And like you would think that like the people producing this movie or directing this movie would be like, or just any movie where they cast him, they'd be like, well, it's my movie and I want you to not have glasses in the movie. But here's the thing, what I figured out, contemplating all this, because I'm like, how does he get away with it? He's wearing tortoiseshell frames all the time. Like, and he just looks like himself, you know? And then I realized, because you don't change yourself to fit the movie, you get chosen for the movie because it suits you in the role. Okay, let me say that one more time. You don't change to align with the script of the movie. You know, you don't change who you are. You maintain your authentic frequency and get casted for the movie that would fit with you the best. And that's, in my opinion, that's the difference between winning an Oscar or not, or an Emmy or whatever those things are. Because if you're just willing to be casted as anybody, you're willing to adapt and be any character, then what's stopping you from being in a flop movie? What's stopping you from being in a movie that doesn't really align with who you are and you're kind of like embarrassed about it after? Or because of that situation, you don't get hired for the role that would get you the Oscar because you were too available for the flop movies. Because you were willing to change your look, your aesthetic, or whatever, who you are, to be able to be in all these movies. But wouldn't you rather be casted in a movie that's basically meant for you and win a freaking Oscar out of it because it was so well written and casted so well with the people who fit that role just so perfectly as themselves? Because you know what I'm talking about. Movies are my hobby. So like, if other people watch movie watchers and you find that a hobby of yours, you know what I'm talking about. There's like a handful of actors out there that when they get casted, they're basically getting casted as themselves. They don't really necessarily change into a different character. Like they still kind of have the same little bit of wittiness or whatever it may be. Like for instance, Tom Hanks is always going to be in a wholesome movie because Tom Hanks is wholesome, right? Like, Tom Hardy is like always going to be casted in tough guy roles because he's a tough guy. Like he got tattoos and he rides motorcycles and he loves dogs. Like, so this opened my awareness to validating the authenticity of ourselves, because is that not just what life is? It's like a movie and you're like your main character in your movie, right? It's your movie. Be the character that the movie was made for. If you start to change the character, then you're not acting in your movie anymore. Does that make sense? So, hold steadfast to who you are authentically, and you wait for the role of a lifetime. You don't not stop working, you keep working, you know, the dude that I'm talking about, I don't know his name, but he's in like a lot of movies, but he's always casted as a guy who's not that tough, but extremely intelligent, usually like, I don't know, I see him in war movies as like a general or like a higher up. He doesn't like do war, but he's like, you know, intellect guy. Or I see him in like very serious roles. And I'm like, wow, because those roles, those serious roles, those historical dramas, those are the ones that get you remembered, man. Like those are the ones that win Oscars. And I don't know, I'm like, is that a tactic? Is he doing that on purpose? Because then I saw another video from a clip of another movie, but I've never watched that movie, but where it was an army movie, and the dude named the dad named his son Major. So his first name's Major, his middle name's Major, and his last name is Major. So when he gets into the army, he's like a sergeant or whatever, and this is the clip I saw, was like the other higher up captains, they like went up to him and they were like, Major, and he's like, we got a major meeting or whatever, like higher ups, and he goes, oh well, I'm just a sergeant. And then the two guys in the car, in the Jeep, they like, you know, go quietly to each other. They're like, well, we can't have that, that's like way too confusing, like what do we do about that? And then the other guy's like, we could just promote him. And they're like, yep, you're now Captain, now you're Major, Major. Get in the car, you're coming with us. And like, it was that video plus the movie that I'm watching, putting it all together, and I'm like, that's the answer to life. You set in stone what it is or who you are, right? You set it in stone. And you embody that frequency. You embody that empowerment. And people have no choice but to treat you as the level of vibration you're vibrating on. Like they put you, it's like, it's interesting. I don't know how to explain that in words. Let me work on that better. Yeah, you walk into a room and people sense something about you, right? Like, oh, I can tell that this person blah blah blah. Like, that's the point. Like, you want your subtle energy to basically scream your authenticity, your values, your morals, your beliefs, all that positive acceptance about self. Like, you walk into a space with all of that energy, and you're only going to get casted for the role that you fit in. And that's exactly what you want, because that role is going to be the easiest role for you to perform, because it's you. And that's why these movies are so good, because these actors are just being themselves and embodying the emotion of the script, and then adding how they would respond as themselves. Like, there's a lot of times you see behind the scenes and they're like, yeah, that wasn't in the script, but, you know, he was just feeling it and it really just went with it well. Right. Because, like, the movie was basically meant for them. And that just blew my mind. The movie was meant for them. So that's the same thing about you writing the script of your life. Is it meant for you? Or are you just like putting up with certain things and dealing with certain things? Why? It's your movie. It's your script. It's your story. It's yours. Meant for you, with you as the only person casted in it. So look at your life and ask yourself that. Is this lifestyle built to support who I am authentically? And if you have to fake or act at any point, then it's not. That's not built for you. Because of your authentic role, you should be able to add flair and passion to it. Not have to go seek out and study and become another person. This is your story. You wrote it. You're currently writing it. So don't you want the easier job? Don't you want the easier role of just being yourself and then being able to add flair and passion where needed in your life because you're not so distracted about holding up a puppet of your face for people? Because, like, I can't respond to a situation mindfully and in the present moment if my mind is like, how am I supposed to act in this situation? I don't know. Let's have a conversation about it in my head, and then we'll respond. No, I don't know. That's too much. Yes. Do I pause before I respond? Yes. But am I having a conversation in my mind as to who to become to respond? No. What that is for you to seek around your own mind for an effective communication way of responding. That's all. You're not supposed to be seeking what mask or what puzzle piece you think's gonna fit there. You be you, and if you fit, you fit, and if you don't, you don't. And that, like we said yesterday, rejection is a form of selection is a form of rejection. So if it's rejecting you, why are you there? It's a big question, right? If you have to fake or act, why are you there? Because that's not going to win you the Golden Globe. That's not going to get you the Emmy or whatever. Like, I think now I'm reminiscing about, like, Leonardo DiCaprio's career. He has played some epic roles where he has to become a different person for these roles. But I have yet to see a movie where we see who Leonardo DiCaprio is. And I feel like even though he has these epic roles, that's why he's only won like 1 or 2 Oscars or something. Like I remember finding out that he's never won an award, and I was like flabbergasted by that. I was like, there's no way, because he's done What's Eating Gilbert Grape, like movies like that, like these really charged roles where they were difficult, where he had to like become a different person. So why didn't he deserve the reward? Why didn't he get the reward? And then I'm like looking at these other actors who are getting flying colors, like these awards, and I'm looking at the roles that they are in the movie, and it's like it's them. It's like a charged role, but because it's them in their authenticity, they're able to add so much more depth to that role. So I'm wondering now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm thinking about that. Maybe that's because it doesn't matter how good Leonardo DiCaprio is as an actor, and his ability to adapt doesn't matter, because us as the audience, we're not feeling that subtle energy. We're not feeling that connection, that rawness. Like, we know it's not real still, to an extent. So I think about that when I watch Leonardo DiCaprio movies. I'm like, who is he? You know, like, he's doing great in all these roles, but still, it begs the question. But when I watch something with like Russell Crowe in it, I'm like, yeah, that's fucking Russell Crowe. You know, it's, go watch some movies if you're not a movie person, and you'll figure this out. Like Kevin Costner, like, he's Kevin Costner in every movie. Even Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, like, he's still got Kevin Costner pop, you know? And I think those are the ones that stand out to us as fellow human beings, because we like this heart-wrenching connection of like real authenticity. So like, they are not like becoming the character, they are them becoming the script, embodying the emotion of the script. They are still who they are, though, but then they're embodying what the emotional reactions and responses in this movie would be as themselves. And I think that reality, that realness, that genuine authenticity, that we feel that as the viewer, as the watcher. And I think now I'm thinking about that, because I remember being so up in arms. I was like, Leonardo DiCaprio is so, adaptable. He's well-rounded. He can play any role. But that's why he's not special. think he did finally win an award for Revenant. And if he didn't win an award for The Revenant, I think I would have, gave up on that because he earned that. But that's my point. We can work so hard. We can literally drive ourselves into the ground trying to become a character we're not and work our asses off and then put out the production and flop in the box office. And then we wonder, why? Why? We worked so hard. We burnt ourselves out. We were so stressed. We learned another language for 5 years. We did this. We did this. We did this for this role. Exactly. You worked too hard. It's not supposed to be that hard. You're meant for certain roles. You're meant for certain things in life. You're not meant for all of them. You're meant for certain things in life. And if you get picky about it and vibrationally picky about it, you are only going to land the roles that suit you, and that will drive you into Oscar-winning rewards. Because that's how it works. When you embody the power, your own authentic power, and you work from that source energy, that you're also in alignment with source energy, then you're unstoppable. It's the subtle energy. You gotta be picky though. We can't just be, no, you're not down for everything. Someone asks you that and you're just, I'm down for anything. No, you're not. Tell me what you're down for. Because there's no way you're down for everything. And you're doing yourself a disservice by not making a choice. Because selection is a form of rejection. And if you're not selecting anything, I guess just take it all. The trash, the good, the bad, take it all. Because you ain't picky. You don't care. Right? Exactly. So, you could be a laid back person and still make choices. I consider myself pretty laid back. I'm pretty chill. But I still make decisions. I will never in my life say, I'm fine with everything, because I am not. I am not. And that's fine. I can compromise really well. I can communicate and compromise all day. That's a skill of mine. But I'm not just down for anything. And I will advocate for those needs. And yeah, even the place that all the friends go to eat is an advocation of needs, because food is a necessity. So I'm not just going to say, yeah, you guys pick whatever. No, we're all going to have an equal weigh-in, and we're going to commonly, as a mutual team, pick something. So remember that. You're not being cool. You're not being anything helpful, like maybe you think you are, because you don't have a choice. You're not making the choices, but you're actually making it more difficult. You're making it more difficult for the universe to send you blessings because you don't have a freaking address. Get the address, bro. Figure it out. Where do you live? Who are you? What do you vibrate at? What's your home frequency? I need to know. If you keep flopping all over the place, how the heck is the universe, the postal service of the universe, going to find you? You keep changing your frequency tuning because you're just down for everything. You're not going to win the award. You're not going to get any closer to the end goal, which is self-mastery and total authentic empowerment. That's the only thing that matters. Not being liked, not fitting in, not rocking the boat. I'm not saying go rock the boat to be a dick, but if you're rocking a boat that you didn't know was rocky, and now it's getting rocked by what you're saying, maybe you don't want to be on that boat. I don't want to be on a boat that's easily rocked like that. I want to be on a ship. I want to be on a steamliner, all right? I want stability. I want structure. I want grounding here. So I thought that was an interesting thought. And then the next thought came, the next aha moment. Because I only receive aha moments when I'm in alignment, right? When I'm not stepping out of who I am authentically, when I'm staying within who I am authentically and supporting those needs, then I receive aha moments. So, like I said, I watched the movie at 9 a.m. this morning. Typically don't do that, but I was not feeling well yesterday. I definitely had a bit of aggressiveness, anger just pulsing through my veins. I was just frustrated at everything. When that happens, typically is a signal for me that I'm not receiving enough of what my soul or nervous system needs. I'm not doing enough of my non-negotiable needs. I'm skipping something. So even though to someone else, movie watching is not a non-negotiable need, but apparently for me it is, because I have not really been doing that lately. Sam, my partner and I have been working late, and just then when we get together, we're just talking or whatever, and then we put on something at the end. We're not even paying attention to the last 20 minutes before we go to bed. So today I was like, no, I'm gonna sit down, no phone, no distractions. I had breakfast, had my tea, and then I'm gonna watch this movie. And that's when all of a sudden, because yesterday it was hard for me to think straight. It was hard for me to gain mental clarity. It was hard for me to see my directions of where to go, because I was halted by the universe because I was missing something here. So today I honored those needs, even though when I asked my mind's eye and it showed me curled up on the couch watching a movie, I was like, really? I got things to do. But I'm like, you know what? We're fueling the vibe. We're fueling the needs, right? We're feeding the vibration what it needs. So I sit down, I watch this movie, and boom, boom, boom. 3, 4, 5 aha moments of what I was trying to figure out yesterday, but I couldn't. And now I can. Because now my nervous system's happy. I fed it what it needed. It needed that. That's something that's always been for me, is the movie watching. That's always helped me calm my nervous system, get me in a good space. And it's just crazy because it's not a general tool like breath work and meditation and yoga, or going outside and taking a run. That wouldn't have helped me in that moment. I tried those other things, and it wasn't helping yesterday. So today I did what my intuition told me was what I needed, but I wanted to first make sure that wasn't an old lazy programming. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to just tap out for the day. I've done something like that before, 8 years ago. So I'm I don't want to get back in that mode. I want to see what's going on here. So I tried the other stuff first, the typical tools. But then I followed my intuition's tool, which was to just watch that movie. And I'm back, baby. I am back in alignment. I am back opened up. Clarity of intentions back. Everything's back. So that's the second aha moment I had, was that you'll know when you're on the right track and when you're on the wrong track. Because if you're on the wrong track and you're forcing something, you're not going to have that clarity of intention. You're not going to have aha moments. You're not going to receive. But then when you're on the right track, listening to your intuition and actually applying it into your life, you receive. So it has everything to do with your personal wiring, who you are as a person. And if you keep flip-flopping that and ignoring that intuitive guide towards things that would help you feel in alignment, doesn't matter what the tool looks like or not, it's your tool, then you're unstoppable. If we keep negating our personal tools because someone else is telling us that these are the tools and you're wrong, you're now trying to step into a role that is not you, and you will further suffer. You will further suffer. Now, yes, 8 years ago, maybe I wouldn't have had the same discipline to just watch the one movie. But now, because I have a lifestyle that's built around my authentic nature, I know that, once that's done, and that's why I get up early in the morning to allocate for things like this. Once that's done, we move on. I have a client at 12. I have this to get done. I have to go to the grocery store. Right. Because those things, my job and having food in the house and my necessary needs in that avenue also fulfills me. That's also part of my alignment. So putting them all together creates success for me. That's how it is for me. I also need to stretch in the morning. I need to have prayer and meditation. I say affirmations, stretch, shower, eat breakfast, drink chamomile tea. And then sometimes do a Zumba class. But then some days you need to watch the movie. So you have to pay attention. Gotta pay attention to your soul, and it's asking you for things. Before I started the journey of retraining my brain, maybe that wasn't my soul. Maybe that was a program that was tired and overwhelmed and didn't want to try anymore. But now, because I've abolished a lot of those old unserving programs, and I'm just really connected right into the true being of self, I can trust those whispers. I can, because I also started to just acknowledge and act upon them 4 years ago. And ever since I started that process of just listening to whatever my intuition says, it's brought me to this journey, this avenue where I'm just I'm doing less but attracting more. Because I'm not hustling over here. I'm not forcing over here. I'm not chasing over there. So it's crazy to think that to get the answer I needed for my work, I needed to go and do my hobby. So what does that tell you about the overall purpose for us from the universe? Fulfill self. That's all you got to do. And if you're not fulfilling self, you ain't going to receive a blessing. Because you're on the wrong path. Get back on your path. Get back in your role. Your authentic role for your movie. It's just it's hard to say these things to people because the way our minds are programmed right now is that you can't have a breakthrough with a work topic by ditching the topic and watching a movie. That's mind-blowing to anyone I tell, and they kind of just shrug it off they don't really believe it. But it's true because you're servicing yourself. When you're servicing yourself, it opens you up to receive because you're ready to receive. You're open to receive. You trust that even in rest, you receive. That even in rest, you're still worthy and abundant. Even in rest, you still have value. And that's when I get my universal gifts. That's when I get it. It's in that stillness. It's in that silence. It's in that self-care. And trust me, I tried the other way, where you hustle yourself into a wall, and then when you get to the wall, you just bang your head on it. That does not work. That does not work. You take a step away from the wall, and then you literally go do something completely different from that fulfills your soul, and then your soul will give you the answer to solve the thing. But you can't leave your soul in the dust. It won't let you. So if you're starting to create something, like we talked about yesterday, that's based off of the old patterned programming and not actually the authentic you, the universe will continuously halt you from moving any further until you integrate your soul back into your lifestyle plans. This is also why when you are on the self-growth, self-mastery journey, if you have made an intention, you've noticed a problem that needs to be worked on and solved, and then you come up with the plan for it, and you start doing that plan, but then you fall off that plan, you'll see the universe make other stuff unrelated to that plan not work out, like other opportunities, because universe needs you to master this self thing, this self challenge first, because you cannot master other challenges until you master this challenge. So that's another reason why we don't realize why we attract or lose opportunity. It's because you had an intention of self-growth and you put an actionable plan on it, and then you got so far down the road, kind of fell off of it a little bit, and then you picked up other external things to do, not the self-challenge. Those external things are going to fail eventually. They're going to not work out because the universe is trying to get your eyeballs to look at the real problem. The real problem is that nugget of self-challenge that needs to be tackled, that needs to be addressed. And you're not going to be able, because if you've already dismantled your life once and you're trying to rebuild it back, it's not going to let you do that again. You know, it's not going to make you have to keep ripping down infrastructures. So it wants you to stay on your path once you found your path. But if you ignore all that and you just chalk it up to you're being punished by the universe, which is not the case. The universe is actually unconditionally loving you and just wants you to take care of yourself first. And you just keep pushing and just grabbing the next thing because that's what you think you have to do, then maybe that thing won't fail, but you'll be miserable in it. And then that miserability will then echo into other aspects of your life, and eventually you'll be facing the same rock bottom construct we talked about the other day, where you gotta go back down to the infrastructure, abolish the whole foundation, re-pour the cement for the basement, redo and you're gonna have to build the house all over again, over and over and over. So the universe is actually trying to get you not to do that by making other things fail when you step off the self-mastery journey. You should never, you always should be on the self-mastery journey, and on that journey you attract. Always stay on that self-mastery journey. Always stay on that authentic journey to self, because then you're just going to attract the role that's written for you. The reward meant for you, what you deserve. Yeah. Don't be so available to everything, to every role. Oh yeah, I could do that if you really want me to. No, I don't do that. I could, but I don't do it because it doesn't align with who I am. Like, I had an issue with that for a while because we were raised to be very adaptable and like be able to do a lot of stuff. So like, even as a younger person, I knew how to do a lot more than my peers, even before I left my house, even before I lived in my own. So that's always been tough for me because like, I can do it. I can fix that thing. I can do that over there. I can clean your gutters for $200. Like, I can do these things, but that's not a solid address for the universe to send you the blessings that actually align with your authentic nature. So it was interesting. I felt like God gave me the gift of capability, but then I learned, and then I had to learn like 10, 15, 20 years after that, I had to learn that just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that was interesting to me because then I was like, well, then why'd you give me all this capability? For yourself! So that you can apply it and utilize it in your life. It's crazy. We think we get these gifts of capability and we're like, right, that means I have to go prove that I'm worthy and do everything for everyone just because I can. I know how. That's actually going to sink you deeper in a hole, and you're going to be like Leonardo DiCaprio. Why didn't I get my award yet? Because you don't have a specific IP address. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want because you're doing everything. Gotta be more stingy, more picky. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Yeah. Narrow the frequency output. Narrow. Like right now you got a blanket frequency. You're just reaching for everything. Narrow it down. And then way to narrow it down is to keep going on the self-discovery journey, the self-mastery journey, the self-care journey. It's literally all you got to do. Stay on that journey and let things find you. Let things find you. Not the you that can also fix someone's squeaky back door. Not the you that can also do this, that can also, like, and I'm not, and that's the thing. Let's say you have all those capabilities. Then be a handyman. And then if you're like, oh, I don't want to be a handyman, then don't be a handyman. Like, it's that simple. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Be specific. What's your antenna? What are you seeking? What are you trying to attract? Because you're not seeking anything. That's the thing. You don't have to seek anything. Just be you. Send out your little antenna frequencies and you'll attract what you need, desire, everything. Everything. Thing about gratitude is so that you can feel humbled and safe and good now. That does not mean, though, you don't want for more. You do. It's just, you know you're going to be okay either way. You're not, in the present, you're still completely fulfilled, yet always willing to grow more and attract more, right? Yeah. That's evolution. It's important. It's important. So yeah, right. That's like where our boundaries come in and stuff. But like, once again, not every boundary is like for other people. Sometimes you need those boundaries to remember you got to stay on this road. Every time you take a step off, the universe doesn't know where to deliver your blessing package. And then also it second guesses itself because it's like, well, I made her a box full of all this stuff because that's what it seemed like she was doing. But now she's doing this stuff over here. I gotta go back into the reserves and unpack this box and pack her another box. Then I get to send that, and then by the time I come back and watch her again, she's doing something completely different. You're fucking up the blessing postal department. Just live in your home frequency so we know where to bring your gifts. Home frequency. Home frequency is like a combination of heart, throat, and solar plexus. I forget. There's a thing. Oh wait, I have it right here. Because this is actually a thing. I really gotta label these because this is not easy to find. Okay. No. Alright. Let's find it. It's gotta be close. Brainwaves. Ah, this is a bummer. I might have to just bring it up the next time when I find it. But it's a whole practice of. Oh, here you go. Okay. All right. It's called developing personal power, grounding, centering, presence, and creating boundaries. So the 4 basic components to building your personal power: grounding, centering, presence, and maintaining boundaries. But the centering brings you to awareness of your home frequency. It should be another page. Oh, so your root chakra plus your heart chakra plus your solar plexus plus your sacral. So why? Because your root is your grounding, your heart is your centering, your solar plexus is your presence, and your sacral chakra is your boundaries. So if you have a strong root, heart, solar plexus, and sacral working all together, then you create a very poignant personal power, a very strong empowerment that can be felt when you walk into a room. And that's your core essence. That's the next. Now I found it. The essence of something is its basic and most important characteristic, which gives it its individual identity, which is like your individual address or your IP your IP address for your computer or whatever, so that you can attract the blessings. We all have unique talents, gifts, personalities, and interests that define us at our core. It's who we are in our most interesting, most unique, most complex, and most vulnerable form. In Latin, essence roughly translates to the what it is. Your essence is built on your belief system, your values, your higher calling. You can consider your essence to be your soul, your DNA, your spark. So, what is a synonym for core essence? Substance, spirit, lifeblood, heart, principle, soul, core. You can understand your natural self when you become aware of your thoughts and actions and begin to make conscious choices about what you think and say from an authentic place. Your essence is reflected in how others respond or react to you. Awareness, authenticity, application. So become aware of how the programming is working, then program it authentically, and then apply that authenticity to life. And then I have a little Latin here. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it means know thyself. And then I also have a little Bible verse. It's 1 Timothy 4:16. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. That's authenticity. You have to be authentic. Your core essence, awareness, authenticity, and application. Your personal power, grounding, centering, presence, boundaries. We can go more on this another time if you guys would like. Comment below. I have a whole rabbit hole of paper here. That's basically, we're taking that and putting it here. But yeah, these are important building blocks to creating your life. Without that, without these practices, you're aimless. You're wandering through the woods and you're wondering why it's so hard. Because the universe can't find you to give you your blessings. Because who are you? What are you? What's your uniqueness? I need to know, so I can give you more things that support that uniqueness. But you need to be loud and proud about that uniqueness, so I know what to send you. It's like you have a best friend and you never know what to get them as a gift because they like everything. That sucks, right? I kind of want you to have a couple things that you favor more than another thing, so I can buy you something special. It's the same point. The universe is your best friend. It's trying to give you a freaking gift that's curtailed for you, that's gonna make you cry and all happy when you open it. So don't take that away from the universe. It wants to gift you. Get your IP address right. Get your address right. Get your home frequency right. Get your core essence right. Authentic. And then maintain it. That's all you gotta do. Non-negotiable needs. Maintain it through your non-negotiable needs, and you will attract. And then you can create. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. Happy Friday, by the way. I'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.